Right now, Legacy Beef Co-op is in its seed round stage. So what that means is we are going out in the communities, talking to farmers and ranchers, and giving them opportunity to reserve a space into the co-op. For as little as $10 a head down payment, that will hold your space so that later on you will become a member of the co-op for that money, and you will also be offered an equity investment into Cattlemen's Heritage. At that point in time, if you simply decide that that equity offering is not for you and you don't want to make the investment in Cattlemen's Heritage, your $10 a head is still in the co-op. You're a member of the co-op, and you will get all the benefits of buying power and selling power a co-op has to offer. You just simply won't be invested into the packing plant. So Legacy Beef Co-op is divided into 5 rounds in the seed rounds, and we are in round 3 right now. Every round goes up a little higher on the equity offering when we come out at a later date. Round 1 was $125, round 2 was $150, round 3 is $175, round 4 will be $200, and round 5 will be $225. But again, it's important to note that those equity offerings, you will have the option when they actually come out, that you can sit down, go through it with your family, go through it with your accountant, whoever you trust, and make sure that you feel good about it. And at that point in time, if you decide not to move forward with the equity offering, you're simply in the co-op for $10 a head, and you will have all the advantages the co-op have to offer for that. So at Legacy Beef Co-op, we've put a lot of thought into the cow-calf producers and ranchers, and thinking about really how a program like this might offer them more optionality into the future. So we've come up with this cow-calf program that if somebody would want to join the co-op as a cow-calf producer, they'll have 2 options. One option will be to simply sell their cattle like they always have. They own the shares into the co-op, sell their cattle into the network of feeders that are here today, another co-op member, and lease those shares to the producer that's finishing their cattle so that they can split in the profits of the investment. The cow-calf producer would also have the option to retain ownership in this and come into a vast network of custom feeders that are in the co-op, where they would own the animal all the way into the packing plant and receive all of the investment money back to them at delivery. There would be a third option there in this co-op, that we would partner with people feeding cattle. In a custom feed network, there's a lot of people feeding cattle, a lot of people partner with cattle. So a rancher would really have the option to retain ownership 100%, partner with feeders down the line, or sell the calf with a lease to the share. What we really see for a rancher is it gives them a lot of optionality. So on certain years where they sell their calf and they're very happy with the profit they made at that calf, leasing the share to another producer so that they can make a little more money on their calf when they deliver makes a lot of sense. You know, in a year where they are not happy with the amount of money they made at the calf sale, retaining ownership or part ownership might make a lot of sense to them. One of the biggest advantages the rancher will get is 100% of the carcass data. So now you're working in a network where they will know the data from the feedlot. They sell that calf to the feedlot. That feedlot will be working with them to know the data on how they fed, their cost of gain, their conversion. They will also know the full closeout, the carcass data at the plant level. So now a rancher can make a decision with a lot of information on when they're looking at genetics and what they want to buy, how they build their herd. They're going to be able to make those decisions based on all the information they got back out of the co-op. So Legacy Beef Co-op is out talking to producers and ranchers and farmers and networking all through the Midwest. So to become a member of the co-op, you could be anywhere in the U.S. The plant itself, Cattlemen's Heritage Beef Plant, will be right outside of Council Bluffs. So if you're thinking about delivering cattle to the plant, obviously you want to be somewhere in the Midwest that, you know, within a few hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours, you could deliver cattle to make it easier. But even if you're outside of that area, there's still a great opportunity here to become part of it, certainly in a Class B where you wouldn't maybe be delivering your cattle into our system, but we'd still be able to have better pricing systems set up throughout different regions. So I think if you're feeding cattle, you should be looking at the co-op to become a member to get all the benefits. But certainly if you're in the heartland, in this Midwest, you know, within a few hundred miles of Council Bluffs, it makes perfect sense to give yourself another option on profitability for your cattle. Right now, the market conditions are, we're in the tight part of the cycle for cattle herds. We have fewer cattle on feed than we did a year ago or 2 years ago or even 3 years ago. We're probably another year to 2 years away from really rebuilding the herd. So during this part of the cycle where the co-op would really shine is it will stabilize our pricing. So every time we go through this part of the cycle, what we know is we go through the front side of it where our cattle become worth more money. And right now cattle are at all-time highs of value. But again, we're feeders, so we're in the margin of this. We also know we're tied to the CME on a pricing mechanism, and then when it corrects, the CME will go much lower than it should. And in the past, we've seen it go as much as $40, $50, $100 lower than it should. And then that correction really hits the farmer, the producer, hard because the losses are very staggering. So you go from 1 year of making good profit to giving it all back in the next year. Our model would take that out of the system. If you're tied to the boxes, then that's all we're going to pay attention to. If the box beef price is high like it is today, you know, north of 300 for a long time now, it's irrelevant. If the board goes way down, it won't affect our system, and that's what's important to the producer. We need to stabilize this pricing model. Maybe on the front side of that portion, you know, we don't make as much profit as we could in every other system. That's fine. But as long as on the backside we don't lose that money, that's fair. We all have to learn to work together to make sure that we don't have this roller coaster of feast or famine. The best way to get a hold of Legacy Beef Co-op is go to legacybeefcoop.com. It has all the information there, who to reach out to, and somebody will be in touch very quickly. There's a form you can fill out to give us a little information and where you are, your region, and somebody will come out and meet with you in a very short order and give you all the information you're looking for. I encourage everybody to reach out. You know, this is an opportunity that if you don't look at it, it doesn't exist. The co-op is designed to make sure that we all work together to help each other, to improve our industry, and give more opportunity in the market. If you're a cattle feeder in the United States of America, you should be looking at this opportunity with this co-op.